Hi. So today, Stella got a scenario for us.
Okay, here goes. I'm a learning mentor in a primary school. I love working in education. However, I wouldn't mind working with families directly. I have 19 years experience and I'm currently making 28k, but I should be on at least 35k. Due to the level of experience I have. In my current role, colleagues not communicating, not being consistent or respecting my time is something that I don't enjoy. I love, in my current role, what I do love is helping the children and giving them something to relate to, confiding in them and giving them hope for the future. She's got 19 years experience.
19 years.
And she's on 28k.
She needs to be making a lot more than that.
19 years experience, learning mentor, 28k. She loves to work with kids.
Yeah.
So
She wouldn't mind working directly with families.
Yeah.
Okay, there's two things that come to mind. And as you was talking, I typed in some role. Literally what I actually did was, you said learning mentor. I was thinking, what's a learning mentor? So I actually typed that in and I thought, actually, let's take it to a famous job site and look for any role. And she's right. There are roles that pay over 35k.
Okay.
There are roles that pay over 40k for learning mentors.
Okay.
So
40K.
yeah. So she needs to, and this is what's running through my mind, is it may mean that you don't have to find a new type of career.
Yeah.
And so before because we won't give you advice about finding other jobs in other careers, because I've got a couple that's coming to my mind right now. But then the reality is you may be able to stay within your career and just be selective on the jobs that you do choose. So look for certain type of companies. So if you're in one particular type of school, you may want to move to a PRU, where they're looking for like learning mentors and stuff along those lines. Or you may just need to go to a school that pays more. So it's like, it's the same role, but we're just looking for what pays more. Also, you have 19 years of experience. And so we need to put you in a position where you've able to articulate all of the great stuff you've been doing for the last 19 years on your CV. So it just translates really well. So I thought that's probably a hindrance, but the reality is you just put yourself out there. Like there are other roles with other companies, or the same role with other companies that will definitely pay you more. I've seen 35k is the amount I'm looking at right now. But yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what? Yeah.
Off the back of what you've just said, I think that's a good point around staying. You can stay in the same career that you're in. What I'm thinking is a different angle, is slightly different. Is I think you should just you've got 19 years experience. You obviously have a network, right? I think you need to utilize that network that you've built in that time.
I really like that. I feel
like along the way you've probably met people, impressed people that will actually refer you and get you into the position that you need to be in. I think one of the things that's important to you obviously is having the right management team. So use that time in your network to just speak to people that will tell you, like these are the people that could support you. These are open positions, and you never know, having those conversations, the fact you've got 19 years of experience in your network, it might even just take you to there might just be a different job that you are suitable for and you're the person they're looking for. So I really think that with 19 years of experience, you need to use your network, tap into your network, have conversation. I don't know if you're on LinkedIn, but if you're not, get on LinkedIn. Just, you need to put your branding out there. Even if you did like little lives on Instagram, just about, your knowledge, put yourself out there, because you need to be more visible, and that visibility, you never know what could come with it. So I really think you just need to utilize your network, and that 19 years of experience will get you the jobs that you need to get. So that would be my advice.
That's you guys come with a really good solution. I think the only thing I would say, maybe just a slightly different angle, I'm not sure. It's not slightly different angle, but it's just building on what you have already. But maybe try to get some qualification. So I think I think from what I understand, you've got A-level qualification, but I don't know if you've got any sort of like other specific qualification. But in terms of what you said, like the kind of the social work industry, quite a close match to what you want to do. I'm not sure social work is something that you've been interested in doing. I know social work, you need to get sort of like qualifications and things like that.
Yeah.
You may not, when I say social work, I don't mean just being a social worker specifically, but doing roles that are akin to like social work, things like that, like family support workers, but sort of like higher tier ones because you've got the skills and experience.
Yeah.
I think that angle would be very fulfilling in terms of what you want to do, and there are a lot of roles that you can do that you don't have to be a qualified social worker, but you get to work with families directly, you get to help the children. So I think that is still the only thing that I would say, but I think you guys have kind of come really good.
Just to double down on what Stella was saying, like, I actually totally agree with the social worker angle, like, to the extent that because of your experience plus the qualification, it can just catapult you to the future, like to like leaps and bounds, because you're already doing certain things, you already had the experience, tackle that, add a qualification onto that. There are like bursaries and funds because there's such a low number of social workers out there. So we need them. We need people like you that's going to help our families. And so I totally agree with that. And I think you'll probably thrive and excel in doing something similar to that ultimately.
Yeah, naturally. I was just thinking that there was someone that were helping recently, and you can actually now, like with social work, you can actually train using Open University.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't mean that you have to go into university. That's very flexible.
Yeah.
And because, as Liz said, you've got networks in that industry, getting a placement might be a lot easier because you're already kind of like in that kind of circle. So I think that could be something that you look into if that's something that you're interested in.
And then I think if we're going down the route of new qualifications, explore like counselling, because you might be able to do some sort of well-being counselling for children, and I think that's something that's really, really needed, especially because of post-COVID, etc. Right? So maybe explore counselling. You said you like being a mentor. Okay, it's not the same thing, but in a way you are helping and supporting in their growth and development. Really, so I really think maybe explore that and see if it's something that you're interested in and get those qualifications.
All qualifications that you get, please make sure it's regulated by the HCPC, because that makes a big difference. So yeah, make sure it's regulated by HCPC, but that's fine. So we're gonna look at some jobs for them.
Okay.
So I pulled out some jobs already. I've been ahead, so I can give you guys a couple of seconds. Whilst you guys are waiting. So there's a learning mentor, and you'll be working with a secondary school and a sixth form. The requirements for this role is pretty much everything you got already. So experience working with children before, willing to be creative, and help kids build interpersonal skills, like all the stuff that you really like doing. That's kind of what they're looking for. And this role pays £35 per hour. Okay. Wow. Okay. So this role pays £35 an hour. That is actually really good. I'm going to keep on rolling because I have that one. There's another one where it is a learning mentor for kids with mental health. And be able to work with kids and their family, add a support for them. And it doesn't require qualification, and is available for full-time and part-time. So you're kind of a support. I do have one more. It's here's another one is an English mentor. And so you're helping kids that aren't, helping kids within school that are not at the right reading level, and supporting them to help them in their English and their reading for Key Stage 3. So you're working with the head of Key Stage 3 as well. So those are kind of the three that I found. One thing I do want to say is companies like, don't have to name them, but there are quite a lot of recruitment companies that specialize in education are really great, because if you turn around to them and say, listen, this is the minimum I'm going to earn. If you can't get me a job for this, don't call me. Do you know what I mean? That makes a big difference, because if they have a role for you, they'll definitely support you in that. So I will definitely kind of approach maybe 4 or 5 recruitment companies. Anything more than that becomes annoying because they call you too often. But I say approach 4 or 5 recruitment companies and kind of say, these are the parameters that I'm looking for. And go from there.
Okay. Liz, have you got anything?
I mean, this is a bit
You
of a
can't beat
tricky one.
35k.
I haven't.
You can't beat.
Cool. If we're going down the wellbeing counsellors route, there's one that I've seen that is about 31k, so it's not beaten, but that's a starting salary as well. So I actually think there's probably capacity to grow and just get more money anyway. So I think that's a good starting point. There's another wellbeing counsellor role, but this is outside London, so taken to mind, this is in Brighton and they're paying like 30,000. So I would say for London, you're going to get more as well. So I think that definitely if counselling is something that you thought about or you want to explore, definitely look at the qualifications. So using, for example, here, they just want you to obviously have a qualification in counselling, but you only have to have 2 years post-qualification, which isn't a lot. Yeah. And then they want you to have had good experience of working with 4 to 12-year-olds, which you have anyway. Nice. And one of the things I like they have here is experience in using play and creative techniques in counselling. You probably, from your work and what you've done already, have that experience and you could just adapt it to counselling techniques as well. So I really think there's a lot of crossover and things that you could definitely bring to this role if you wanted to go down that route. I would really advise you to consider wellbeing counselling.
Okay, so with mine, I'm just going to talk in general. I've looked at social work assistant roles because that's probably where you will start off with. A number of roles have come up and the salary banding, it really varies. So it said from like 31 to like 50k. So within that, I guess it depends on your experience level and the qualification, but that's definitely an avenue for you to look at. So maybe start looking at social work assistant roles rather than obviously social worker roles. And there's loads of roles that have come up on some of the the key job sites. So yes, definitely something that you should have a look at.
All right, so hopefully this was helpful to you. Please let us know how it's going on and what happens next. And we want to know, we will be informed. If you have a similar scenario, please contact us. We're more than happy to help you as well. If you have any scenario and you're looking for work or support, let us know and we'll answer your questions as well. Please like and subscribe as well. All right, take care. Bye.